So you might get a little thing to say okay. And then I'm going to share my screen. So I know some people couldn't make it, and this way they can see. So everybody can see the screen pretty well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. So my mom, her full name was Suzanne Alexandria Motica, but she went by Susie. And sometimes when she liked to take a nap, I would call her Snoozy. And so she was born April 5th, 1941. And let's see if I can get this going. How do I? Oh, there we go. So, some of you might not know, but my mom named me Noelle because she almost lost my pregnancy in December of 1962 at Christmas time. And they sent her home and they said they didn't know if she would have me or not. So when I was born in July, she said I was her Christmas. So she named me Noelle, and my name actually has umlauts over the E. Sometimes I'm not that tech savvy to figure that stuff out. So I was her Christmas in July. This is my mom and dad when they got married. It was a small, very small wedding. They ran away. My grandma, my mom's mom, did not like my dad and really didn't want her to marry my dad. So she was a rebel and they took off to Endicott, New York, where my mom had finished up being an X-ray technician. And this was her classmate from X-ray school and my dad's friend from the Navy. And they got married. And then my brother, his name is Florian John, and he was born 2 years after me. So that was my grandfather's name on my dad's side, Florian Bartkevich. And my maiden name, for those of you who do not know, is Polinkevich. So we're like 100% Polish. I did the little DNA thing, and it was pretty much, 98% Polish. So, and I just adore my brother. Like you could see here when we were little, he has a scuff on his head. His face is dirty. He was always like just a ball of fire, like running around. And I kind of would chase after him and pick him up and take him back to my mom until one day when he was about, I don't know, maybe 8 years old, when we were playing, he ran into my mom and he complained that I was being his mother and I'm not his mother. So that's how much I love him. And I try to get to visit him every year. And there's us with the goofy hair. And my brother looks like he's like that 1980s look from I was trying to think of what that show was with Don Johnson, it reminds me of that kind of look. So that's the three of us. So my mom worked as an X-ray technician, and my dad worked for the state of Pennsylvania during the day. So we always had a parent or grandparent with us. This is when my mom was living actually in Harrisburg. She eventually got a job with the state of Pennsylvania as well. And that was my dog, Marlowe. Here we go. She adored her friends. She loved her family. This is her group of friends here right before she left Pennsylvania to move to Port Huron. So this guy, Luther, and his wife, Lois, they were polka dancers and they used to take my mom polka dancing. And even though she had a walker, Luther would hold her up and they would kind of dance, I guess you would say. So this was her group of friends. And then this was our dog Rico. This is when she was visiting our house. And this is her in her apartment with her cat Sunny, who now has a wonderful home. And then I used to teach Qigong via Zoom for her retirement home. And so this was like Rosemary here on the right was her one of her best friends there, and I still keep in touch with her. And when I went down to visit my mom, I would actually teach a class in person. So they got to do it live as opposed to on Zoom. So that's her group from her retirement home. And then this is her brother, right back here, Uncle Chris, my uncle, and his two sons and his wife, and me and my husband. And unfortunately, my Uncle Chris's wife, Cindy, now has Lewy body, and she's not doing that well. But they came to visit a few years ago, my mom in the retirement home. So we snapped this family photo. Now, back when she was in the 40s and 50s, when she was in her 40s and 50s, she fell in love with Tai Chi Chuan and actually competed in a national competition in Maryland. And man, I'll tell you, she moved so beautifully. I went to that competition, and unfortunately, at that time, we didn't have cell phones to take videos or anything like that. But I watched her and I thought for sure, like she had won. She just was moving so beautifully. But she didn't win. But she said, after that, she said, that's okay. I don't care if I won or not. It was my goal to compete, and I did that, and that's enough for me. And that was kind of her attitude in life. I don't know who captured these pictures, but this was her teacher here, one of her teachers, and that was her learning how to do the staff Tai Chi. She also became a certified feng shui consultant. So feng shui is the Japanese art of placement. And she did that after, I think she did that before she retired when she was taking Tai Chi. And then after she retired, she went to massage school and became a massage therapist. And she just wanted to do that for fun. And she worked at her hair salon where she got just a couple of clients there. She
I
was
know what
diagnosed with MS very late in life, but she vowed never to be bound by a wheelchair, and she did maintain almost complete independence until she passed away. She helped me become the person I am today, and I wouldn't change a thing. So that's me and my mom. These are some pictures of her. This is when she was sick and she was in bed, and this is her books and her dolls. This is when she was in high school, and this was, I believe, at a wedding, although I'm not positive if it was prom or wedding. This picture here on the left is the picture I used to send out memorial cards to her friends and family. She has her "This is my grumpy cat" shirt on. She always wore dangly earrings every day. She changed her earrings, and I have now inherited a very tall jewelry box filled with earrings. Um, that she loved opera, and she actually had gone to she would go to the Met in New York for some opera shows. This is one picture of her dressed up before they were going out. That was her in high school. And then this was her goofing off for I don't know what it was in her at her retirement home. And that is my mom. So I'm going to stop that share. And I'm just going to check and see if anybody else came into the room that I haven't let in yet. Okay, I think everybody is here. So with that, I'm going to mute everyone.
Just to say, we know where you got it from now. Holy cow, you take right after your mother, that's for sure.
Yeah, she was something else. Yep. Okay, I'm going to mute everybody. And if you have any questions or anything, please feel free to unmute during the practice. Okay. Oh, so one of the things that I did want to say is that my mom loved Cahill Gibran, was one of her favorite authors. So he wrote The Prophet and some other books in case you're not familiar with him. So I wanted to start our practice with just doing maybe just either sitting, or I'm going to sit because I'm going to read this, but you can either stand in an empty stance or a wuji, or you can sit, maybe close your eyes, take a few deep breaths wherever you're at. And just coming into your space, noticing all the sounds around you in your room and outside of your room. Letting all those sounds, any of those distractions, just let them become a part of your practice and let them become familiar as you move today. What I want to read is this is by Kahal Gibran from the Prophet, and it's called On Children. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children." And he said, "Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you, for life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children are living arrows and are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with his might, that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness, for even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. So if you were seated, we'll come up to an empty stance to Wuji. Just feeling a connection with our feet to the ground, lifting up through the crown of our head, letting our top tongue rest gently behind the top teeth. And I'm trying to get, I'm trying to get speaker view here, and Mary is up on the screen. Okay. Let your arms be soft by your sides, almost as if there is a little egg underneath your armpit. And put a slight bend in your knees, feeling your tailbone drop. Taking a few deep breaths from the belly, inhaling and exhaling, feeling your belly rise and fall gently with each breath. And then setting our intention for our practice today, we're just going to turn our palms up. Take a nice deep breath in and just release all of insecurities, feelings of not being loved, of being overly protective, overly motherly, holding on to that arrow in the bow and not wanting to let it fly. Breathing out, slowly lowering your hands down. And then inhaling and filling in with the opposite, filling in with love, unconditional love, compassion, understanding, letting go, having proper boundaries, and feeling contentment. And then last but not least, let's seal all that energy in, taking one more breath, inhaling and keeping all of those wonderful qualities in our practice today. Letting your hands gently rest on the lower dantian, just below the belly button, taking a few breaths there. And then slowly releasing our arms. We're going to just start with some joint warm-ups just before we move. So either placing your foot up or behind you on the ball of the foot. We're just going to circle on the ball of the foot. So if you were looking down, it's like your knee is rotating around the sole, around the foot, feeling a bit of a stretch in the foot, as well as the knee, as well as the hip. And we'll just do maybe about 6 times, 7 times in each direction. So just going at your own pace. And then our other foot, warming up the ankle joints. So we're going to move up the body today. We're going to come from the earth, from yin, and we're going to move up to the top of our head, yang. So bringing that earthly energy up to meet the heavenly energy. Rotating your foot in the other direction. And then bringing your feet together, making little like tiger mouths. So kind of keeping your fingers together and your thumb out and just coming above the kneecap and squeezing that quad and squeezing the inner thighs together, circling your knees. You don't have to go really low, really deep. Just go to your own comfort level. And then reverse that direction. And then just bend the knees and then straighten them. So just flex and extend a few times. Beautiful. Give your legs a little shake. And then taking the index edge of your finger and just placing it here in the hip where the leg meets the pelvis or quad, our energy gate of the hips. We're just going to circle, almost like you're circling your tailbone. And making little circles with your tailbone between your feet. If you were to drop a line or a pencil there. And then reverse that direction. I like to sometimes even place my hands on my SI joint as I do this, and you can feel that gentle movement in the SI joints and those ligaments. So it really does open up the whole pelvis and SI area. And then release that. Maybe give yourself another little shimmy. And then just take your hands on your hips and maybe take your legs just a little wider, not necessarily too wide. And then we're going to come in a big circle with our hips. So now we're going to start to feel a bit more of a stretch down the backs of the legs and our bladder meridian. And you can give your glutes a little squeeze as you come up and back. Again, you can make this circle as small or as big as it feels good in your body. And reverse that circle. Remember to always keep breathing in, breathing out. Beautiful. We'll let that go. And we'll step back into our Wuji stance. And then we're just going to move up. So with you can make a tiger's mouth again if you want to. So your thumb is going to be on about lung 1 and your fingers are under the armpit on heart. And I like to come across the body and up and behind so that you get a little bit of a twist in your waist as you're making this circle with your arm. And really think about making the whole movement from the shoulder joint. Really feel the shoulder blade lift the arm up, the shoulder joint rotate, and the rest of your arm is just coming along for a ride. And then we're going to reverse our circle coming from the back to the front. And let that side go. Just pause for a moment. Really feel that arm and shoulder compared to the other one. And then when you're ready, move on to the other side. Coming across, up and behind. Just with a little bit of a turn in the waist. And reverse that circle coming from the back to the front. Again, feeling out all the movement coming from the shoulder blade, the shoulder joint. And let that go. And we're going to make this movement, I think today, one of our practices. So we're going to start with our palms up and consciously spread the fingers, stretching the webs and the palms of the hands, and then bringing one finger in at a time, turning the wrists and spreading the fingers out. Then turn the hands up, one finger at a time, turn the wrists, spread the fingers out. Turn the palms up, one finger at a time, so you can inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. One more time. Just give your fingers and your wrists a nice stretch. And exhale. Good. Let that go. And then just opening the meridians in the arms a little bit more. We're going to take a breath in like we're hugging a tree. And then we're going to reach behind us. So the palms face us and the thumbs and the fingers reach down towards the ground. So you should feel the shoulders up here really reaching down, a stretch through the entire arm. Exhale your chin to your chest and then circle it over to the left and back to the center and over to the left again and back to the center. Keep reaching down with your fingers one more time over to the left and back to the center, and then take your chin over to the right and bring your chin back to center. Spreading those fingers, reaching down towards the ground. And chin comes to the chest, bring your head back up to neutral. Relax the arms by your sides. And then we're going to take a breath. We're going to float our arms out to the sides. And then we're just going to bring our fingertips right to the center at the top of the head. And we're just going to tap lightly. This is Bahui or 100 meeting point, or sometimes called 1,000 petals. It's sort of it's the crown chakra, but it's also an acupoint that's wonderful for memory. It's good for other things as well, lifting up and raising chi, but I always like to say my memory is fabulous. I have the best memory ever. Just while you're tapping, you can tell yourself these things. I remember everyone and everything. I have fabulous recall. I have a fabulous memory. And then we're just going to take our fingertips. We're going to tap down the sides of the head, just above the ears. Come back up to the top of the head and back down the sides of the head. This is our gallbladder channel. And one more time. Good. Then we're going to take our right arm at the top of the left shoulder with a loose fist or a cupped hand. We're going to tap this point. Gallbladder 21 or upper trap. We're going to come down the inside of the arm. So palm up. Turn the palm down and up the back side of the arm. Stimulating the yin meridians of the arm, and when we come back up, the yang meridians. And give yourself a good steam here. Feel all the energy and blood flow begin to move. One more time, coming up. Then just come across the chest with the other hand, down the inside of the arm, back up. Spend a little time up there on that gallbladder 21, that top of the trap. Back down the inside, back up, outside. And again. Come to the top of the chest and down to the belly. Nice deep breaths. Come around to the back. So if you want to tap here with the backs of your hands or fists, whatever feels good, give the kidneys a nice big tap, waking them up, waking up that energy. The space between the kidneys, Ming Men. Come down the backs of the legs, bladder. Come up the tops of the legs, stomach. Down the sides of the legs, gallbladder. Insides of the legs, liver, spleen, kidney, all the way up into the groin. Back down the back sides of the legs. Up the fronts of the legs. Sides of the legs, go down. Up the insides of the legs, up into the groin. And one more time, down the back. up the front, down the sides, and up the insides, back to the belly. And then let that go. Just take a moment establishing your Wuji stance, your empty stance. And as you breathe, notice all the energy and blood flow and chi circulation you've created in your body. Notice your breath, breathing in and out. Beautiful. So we're going to start with opening and closing the gates. We're going to make loose fists, and we're going to turn the fists to face us. If you can or want to, I'm kind of large chested, but I can come over my breasts and touch my hands together, but you don't have to. When we open the gates, we're going to roll the knuckles together, lift the elbows, and like we're taking a big yawn. This is our inhale. We squeeze the shoulder blades together. So it's not like you're taking a back bend, you're just squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then on your exhale, you bring the knuckles back together like a hinge. And when you close, now you're going to tuck your chin and the knees are softly bent. You're going to roll forward. So getting like a little curve in the back. And then we inhale and we open, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale and we close. So remember, this is to your own breath. So you could be moving quicker or slower. And just notice if you're squeezing your hands, your fists. See if you can soften the fists. See if you can really be soft everywhere that you possibly can while still holding some form in the body. Maybe when you roll forward on your exhale, maybe that feels good. Maybe you want to stay there a little longer or make that roll even a little deeper. Maybe bending the knees a little more. You're welcome to do that. Let's do two more. And slowly release. Taking a breath or two, just always noticing in between our exchange and movements. And this one for our side body, we're just going to kind of slinky our hand up on our inhale. And then on our exhale, we're just going to make a little side bend. So we're just warming up the side body. So we might not go very far. And then as this hand comes down, the other hand slinkies up to the side. And we exhale and come into a little side. Inhaling and exhaling. And as the ribs open, the intercostal muscles, this is all the gallbladder channel as well. You might want to, you might notice that you feel a little more flexible, a little, maybe bend a little deeper. We are in the springtime, liver gallbladder time. So it's all about being flexible, growing, having vision and foresight and insight. The eyes are the sense organ for the spring. So we're going to use that a little bit today as hopefully we head back into or just head into spring. Last side bend. And again, just pausing and noticing any changes in your body, your breath. We're going to bring our arms up just in front of the dantian, so right in front of the lower belly. And with your eyes open or closed, I'm just going to invite you to move the palms of your hands towards and away from each other. You can move them horizontally, vertically, diagonally, just getting a sense of the chi between the palms of the hands. So our body has 5 hearts. We have our physical heart in the center of our chest. We have 2 hearts in the one in each palm of the hand, and 2 hearts, one in each sole of the foot. So kidney 1 and pericardium 8 in the hands. And the reason we call this 5 hearts is that the same electrical conductivity of the epithelial cells, yes, I'm getting a little scientific here, are present at the palms and the soles of the feet and the heart only in the entire body. So see if you can just feel that sort of magnetic movement. Good. And then I'm going to mirror you. We're going to spin our right hand on top. We're going to take an inhale. We're going to pull that energy north and south, above and below. We're going to exhale and bring that energy back down to the center, bringing your palms facing each other. And then inhaling and pulling the chi east and west. But you should still see your fingers in your peripheral vision, so not overextending. And coming back to the center. And then spinning the left hand on top, inhaling and stretching north and south again. This is just called centering the chi for the earth element. Coming back to the center, east and west. Inhaling, feeling that chi spreading in front of you. Exhaling, gathering it back to the center. And back to north and south. If you screwed up with what hand's on top, which I might have done, no big deal. Just continue making your east and west or your horizontal and vertical movements, stretching the chi. Let's do this one more time horizontally. One more time vertically. And just come back to the center, resting your hands on the dantian, taking a breath there. If you're not used to a standing practice like Qigong, please be sure just to take that time, wiggle, move your feet, do whatever you need to do, even sit down if that's more comfortable. Next, we're going to get just a little bit more of a twist in the body. It also works with our liver, which is Well, if I'm not mirroring you, this is my actual right. So your right side is your liver, gallbladder, your left side is your stomach and spleen. So for this one, we take our feet a little wider than our hips, and we hold a ball. So it's sort of bigger than our little chi ball that we had here in front of our Jian. This is a little bit bigger. Maybe arms, like if you were just going to bring your arms straight out and then relax them, that would be your moon, this moon of energy. So as we go up and to the left, I will mirror you now. You're going to come up on the right toes and you're going to look up and back, but you're not going to arch. So we don't want to have an arch in the low back. We always want to keep this softness in the belly. And then we're going to, that's our inhale. And our exhale, we come back to the center with our moon. And then we come up to the other side. Okay, I see, Cynthia, that you raised a hand. Did you want to unmute and ask something? I have your, see your hand up, sorry.
Sorry, that must have just been my Apple Watch when I lifted my arm.
Oh,
Sorry about that.
okay, so inhaling and coming into a slight twist, a slight lift, but not overarching. Exhaling back to the center. When we come to the center, you can feel a little bit of a bend in the knees. And then we reach up to the other side, placing the moon up in the sky on the other side, bringing it back down and back up. So now we have this little bit of knee bend, waist turn, lifting, almost like we're pushing off the earth, lifting chi up, and then we're bringing it down, bending the knees and getting earthy back to the earth again. Those of you who are yoga teachers, I always like to add a squat in at the end of this movement. If I'm teaching a yoga class, I might come all the way down into a squat. So if that feels like something you want to do this morning, if you feel like, I just want to get a little squat in, you can get a squat in as you bring the moon up. Just lowering the hips, getting the knees a little more active. And let's just do one more to each side. Coming back to the center and bringing your feet back to Wuji. Again, pausing, noticing, feeling, observing. And then to get our back a little looser, we're going to just do grasp the ankles to tonify the kidneys. So it's sort of like a upward salute, forward fold in yoga. So our arms float up. We don't really come into too much of a back bend. It's just very slight. The hands come down the sides. They come down the ribs and to the back, so the bladder meridian. They slide all the way down. You bend your knees. Your hands come down as low as you want, maybe to the ankles. The head releases to the floor. And then you take your arms out by the ears, pressing into the feet and rising up. And if that doesn't feel good, you can roll up one vertebra at a time. So it's just a nice way to activate the back of the body, get a nice back stretch in. And try to make this movement flow with your breath. Let's finish off with one more here. Coming back into our empty stance. The next movement we're going to make is a movement for the heart. So there's several different kinds of Qigong movements for each element. So there's a wood element Qigong and a fire and an earth. And this one's a fire. There's a couple. And this one's a little bit different. I like this one. I'll just show you what it looks like. We start with our feet together. Because the heart meridian runs from the armpit all the way down the inside of the elbow and to the pinky, if your palm is up. We begin this one like we're touching this pinky side of our hand, okay? And I like it because it's sort of like a nice little offering. So what we do is we step out and we touch the pinkies and we lift up. Now, again, we're not really coming into a back bend. So if you look at the side, I'm not I'm not like this, right? I'm just above my head. And then at the top, you're going to touch your fingers and then roll the backs of the hands together. Okay. So we stepped out. We did that little raise up. We touch the fingers. We roll the backs of the hands together. So it's like we're bringing the sunlight, the heart, the fire energy down into the heart. And when we do this, again, the chin tucks and the knees bend. So now our fingertips are pointing to the ground. We brought all that yang energy down. And then we're going to float our arms out to the side. And if we stepped out with that left foot, we're going to bring that right foot in, the left foot in, and float your arms down. And then we step out to the other side, to the right side. Palms are up, pinky sides touch. Like you're lifting up, gathering the sun, backs of the hands touch, chin tucks. Draw the energy down the center of the body, bend the knees down to the earth, head releases. Relax the arms, float them out to the sides. Step up and let that hand come back in. Your hands come down, good. Inhale, we step out. Pinky sides up. Exhale, we roll down. Inhale, we release the arms up, stepping in, back to center. Stepping out. So see if you can start to get a little bit of a rhythm with your breath. You don't have to come down really low either. Remember, this is your practice. So whatever feels good for you. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhaling. Exhaling. Inhaling. And exhale. Let's do one more to each side. And just step your feet apart a little bit, resting the hands. Actually, let's take a breath in. Float the arms out. Gather the chi in front of the heart. And then just let your hands cross over, this time at the heart, bending your chin to your chest, keeping that energy in the heart. Feeling some love and self-compassion for yourselves, love and compassion for others. And slowly releasing. Okay, so our next movement, I'm glad we got a little bit of the legs in because we did talk about the bow and arrow. We're going to experience the bow and arrow. So there's different ways to draw the bow to shoot the golden arrow. One of the ways is a little bit more fancier where we step out and we bring ourselves in, but we're going to do it a little bit not as fancy, but still effective. So we're going to start like that, close the gates. So when we had our close the gates with our palms here, right? And if we're going to go to the left, I'll mirror you. We're going to make an arrow with the left hand. And the arrow can look like this, or just a flat hand, whatever feels good. If you're not used to making an arrow, you start to think about that too much. So just open your hand if you want to. So you're going to make an arrow and then your opposite arm is going to lift. So the right elbow lifts. And then we're just going to step out to the left. And when we step out, it's a little step out. Your back is straight. We're going to look to the left as we shoot our arrow and we draw the bow. So the one thing here you'll notice is my arm isn't straight out. I'm not straight. I have a bend in my elbow. But if you do that, you could still feel like you're really using your bicep because the minute you turn the wrist up, you're engaging this part of your arm. The same thing here, you're not coming back like this. It's just here. And when you make this movement with the bow, this comes from the shoulder blade. So it's just like you're sliding the shoulder blade back a little. Okay, so let's do that to that side again. We're going to have our palms facing each other. You're going to make your arrow and start to draw the bow. You're going to step out to the left and sink a little bit. And as you sink, look to the left, shoot your arrow, and just draw the bow back a little bit. That's your exhale. Inhale, you're going to rise up and just bring your arms back together along with your leg. Now you're going to make the arrow with the right hand, draw the bow with the left, and step out to the right. As you sink, look over to the right, shoot your arrow, draw the bow a little bit, and then rise up, bring your hands together, bring your foot back. Make that arrow with the left, step out, sink and shoot, gazing past the arrow, thinking about that Kahal Gibran, somebody we love, our children, whoever. We love our bow, we're holding on to our bow, we're shooting our arrow. We're aiming for the best possible result, the best possible outcome. This is a hard movement. I don't expect everybody to feel really comfortable with it. And if you just want to do the arms and not the legs, that's cool. The feet should be pointed forward for this movement. And just do a few more. Last one. And then just release your hands. Take a bit of space. And then just notice how your body's feeling. And then I'm going to invite you to either you can stay in Wuji, which is a meditation stance, and you can continue to breathe there. You can relax there. Or if you prefer, you can come into a seat. And once you get comfortable in your seat, I'm just going to put a little bit of music on. Close your eyes. If you're standing or seated, let go of your practice. Still being aware of your breath and perhaps feeling your breathing with your entire body. Not just your nose and your lungs, but feeling your entire body move with an inhale. Take that inhale in and take that exhale out. Perhaps taking this moment to think about yourselves as a mother, if you are mothers, thinking about your mothers, mothers in your life, grandmothers, people who are the archetype of mother for you. You know, maybe even your mother-in-law, if you have one. I'm just thinking about that incredible energy that mothers have. The incredible wisdom that they've passed on to us, that we carry forth in the world. Even those, as I call them, buttons that only mothers can make and only mothers can push. Some of those qualities in ourselves that we perhaps don't like as much as we would like to. Just know that they're part of us too. And I have one last reading I want to read. Though lovers be lost, love shall not, and death shall have no dominion. We rely on those we love to be our sounding boards. Their perceptions and opinions are part of what we love. When we lose our loved ones, we do not lose their interactions with us. Instead, we are asked to listen more accurately for the guidance that they offer. The guidance may come to you as intuition. It may come to us as a memory. It may come to us as friends and strangers, speaking to us in the tone of our lost love. As we open our hearts to continued relationship with those who have passed on, we find ourselves helped at many turns, protected in many ways. Our loved ones continue to love us as we do them. As we open our hearts and our minds to continued love, we are reminded by a sense of their presence. Today, I allow myself to be aided and guided by those who have gone before. Just as the mighty tree springs from the tiny seed, my full flowering is rooted in all that have gone before me. I celebrate the continuity of life. I am part of a larger whole, and it is a part of me. Keeping all of this wonderful chi and energy inside of you as you move throughout your day. Send yourself love and gratitude for showing up and taking this time to practice and to be here for each other. And for helping me to honor the memory of my mother. Let's close with a breath together, bringing our hands to our hearts, bowing our head to all of the loved ones who've gone before us. And slowly, when you're ready, you can lift your chin, open your eyes. Thank you, everyone, for joining me this morning. Namaste. I'm just going to stop the recording.